Fusion Fridays here on KBVR. I'm Maya Holmes.
And I'm Brittany Wooten.
And we're the Blonde Bombshells.
Here to give you your weekly music news.
Macintosh Braun released their second album, Where We Are, last Saturday night at the Alberta Rose Theatre. The band was started by Ben Braun, whose famous musical father was the touring drummer for the likes of Michael McDonald and Hall & Oates, and he introduced Ben to music at a very young age. Braun united with Ian McIntosh in 2006 after viewing McIntosh's material on his MySpace page. After meeting up, they found they shared similar ideas of fusing electronic textures with pop songwriting. The pair then moved on to a one-room loft in Alberta Street that doubled as their studio and eventually released their first record, The Sound. Tinderbox Music enjoyed the disc enough to offer to promote the group, which landed the band's songs on NBC's Chuck, then to the desk of Atlantic Records' subsidiary Chop Shop. After signing to the label, McIntosh and Braun spent more than a year writing Where We Are. According to Matthew Singer of Willamette Week, Where We Are combines Braun's background as a hip-hop producer with McIntosh's longtime love of electronic music. The duo is now trying to integrate themselves into the Portland music scene, so help them out by giving their new album a listen.
Basically, Natasha Kmeto was ready to quit music. In 2008, the Los Angeles musician found herself in Portland following a stint at the Musicians Institute in Hollywood, California. According to Ezra Ace Karef of the Portland Mercury, after being submerged in the commerce before art reality of musician work, Kmeto contemplated walking away for good. It was in Portland that Kmeto really felt her art was at home. After a series of limited-run releases, Expressor, the title of her newest musical artwork, is the first complete offering from Kmeto. It's a recording that turns away from the traditional structure of what we all know as R&B and instead reinterprets the genre as a foundation for pulsating beats and a blurry haze of electronics that coat every inch of the album. Growing up on Stevie Wonder, Marvin Gaye, and the Supremes, Kmeto wants to bring their sound back into today's R&B. Kmeto conceived every moment of Expressor from the words to the beats. Be sure to check it out and see what you think.
Are you just dying to get your hands on some new Portland music releases? Well, then you're in luck, because Portland bands Pink Martini and Mulieribus and North Pacific Music are all releasing holiday albums this season. Pink Martini, Portland's favorite little big band, has released a new album entitled Joy to the World, which hit store shelves this past Monday. And according to James McQuillan, it's swinging, posh, and multicultural with traditional and retro pop numbers in 10 languages. Portland's In Mulieribus, which is Latin for Amongst Women, released their third album, A December Feast. In the album, the first-rate ensemble brings together music ranging across 8 centuries and featuring everything from medieval lyrics to contemporary sounds for a variety of the season's liturgical feasts. And while not specifically holiday-themed, the recent release by North Pacific Music entitled Ferdinand the Bull and Friends is another one you won't want to pass up. The album features content for young listeners, including Carnival of the Animals, as well as Mother Goose Suite. These new releases will be more than enough to brighten your holidays and spread some musical cheer.
Adam Lamott is one of those unusual violinists who is equally comfortable playing a Baroque-era violin and a modern violin. As a member of the Portland Baroque Orchestra, Lamott plays music on gut strings, and as the concertmaster of the Northwest Sinfonietta, he uses metal strings. According to James Bash of OregonMusicNews.com, he also plays with other period instrument ensembles, as well as with other ensembles that use modern instruments. Lamott grew up in Houston, Texas, and traveled to New York to further his musical talents at the Manhattan School of Music and Queens College. After graduating in 1997 with a Bachelor's of Music and Performance, Lamott has come a long way with his violin playing. Since he moved to Portland, he has released a CD recording with pianist Janet Coleman titled The Exquisite Hour, which features a number of romantic pieces. The recording was done at Pacific University and can now be found on iTunes. Be sure to look for more of Adam Lamott's work.
Portland band Yeah Great Fine has been giving many warm welcome performances during their first Northwestern tour and wowing crowds with their blend of up-tempo, fun dance music, and odd jazzy time signatures. The band is made of guitarist and vocalist Jake Hirschman, drummer Dave Hires, keyboardist Brian Hoberg, guitarist Andrew Klabzuba, and bassist Kevin Fitzpatrick, all of whom have played in other Portland bands before joining, including Jared Mees and the Grown Children and The Wires. Despite this, none of the performers have ever felt central to their projects, so when Yeah Great Fine began 2 years ago, it was founded on 2 main principles: to collaborate as much as possible and to play every show like it's a small house show. According to Michael Mannheimer of Willamette Week, most of the material on Yeah Grapefine's self-titled debut was started by Hires and then fleshed out by the rest of the band, and you can hear their focus on rhythms and non-traditional song structures in the album. Yeah Grapefine played this Wednesday night at Holocene along with Blue Horns and Oh Niwu.
Susanna Weaver rounded up a few of her closest friends, roughly 30 of Rose City's hottest and most vital indie music artists, to throw herself not only a 40th birthday party, but an event that she hopes will be a major fundraiser to benefit local musicians who have no health insurance. The core of her idea is a cookbook called Recipes for Disaster. The cookbook will feature the culinary arts of the musicians and hopefully raise awareness of this little-known problem. According to Don Campbell of OregonLive.com, the event dubbed Tom Waits for No One was held last night at the Laurelthirst Public House, which began at 9 p.m. A suggested donation of $8 got showgoers in the door for donated entertainment by Fernando, Stephanie Schneiderman, Louis Longmire, and more. The party was actually the first deadline for musician-contributed recipes, so we'll have to see what comes of this musical cookbook creation.
If you haven't heard of the indie group Wild Flag, well then you've got some catching up to do. The group, which describes their sound as, quote, an avalanche taking out a dolphin, has already signed with Merge Records and has shows selling out all across the country well before the start of their West Coast tour. The musical supergroup Wild Flag is composed of 4 women who, according to Robert Ham of Oregon Live, have helped shape the sound and idea of what is known as indie music. Mary Timoney helped create the DC chapter of Riot Girl movement as a member of the band Autoclave and recorded a series of ornate pop albums with her band Helium and also as a solo artist. Rebecca Cole was, until 2008, the drummer for The Minders, a psychedelically tinged pop group that shares the stage with bands such as Neutral Milk Hotel and Apples in Stereo. Wild Flag's drummer Janet Weiss became world-renowned when she joined Sleater-Kinney in 1996 and helped propel the emotive force of that band until they went on a hiatus a decade later. The 4th member of Wild Flag is Weiss's Sleater-Kinney bandmate, Carrie Brownstein, whom in addition to fiercely playing the guitar, has also written a regular column for NPR Music and helped cultivate a sketch comedy TV series about Portland for the Independent Film Channel with Saturday Night Live cast member Fred Armisen. Audiences got the chance to see Wild Flag play at the Doug Fir Lounge last Saturday night along with Royal Baths.
Last Saturday, November 13th, the Majestic Theater hosted Pulse, a musical and dance performance showcasing a variety of sounds and culture. Nancy Trena, the artistic director of Pacific Tap Dance Company, organized the lineup of percussion artists as a benefit event for the Majestic Theater, reported by the Gazette-Times. Her tap group performed alongside Rum Banana Salsa Group, a nationally recognized Cuban music and dance group that was formed in 2005 in Corvallis. Also featured was the Latin drumming group Ritmo de Monte Calvo and the On Dare Academy of Irish Dancers. If you miss Pulse, you can still support the Majestic Theater by attending Charlie's Aunt, a school play, or the Santaland Diaries and Season Greetings, a comedic play which also act as the fundraiser for the Heartland Humane Society.
As the year begins to come to a close, one could argue that 2010 has been the best year for local music in Central Oregon. Up until now, the region has never been home to the sort of musical talent they have had at this point, had so many people attend shows put on by local artists, or seen the Bend Roots revival as large as it has been this year. Last weekend, Bend played host to the Central Oregon Homegrown Music Review, which is now in its 3rd year. According to Mike Bookey of The Source Weekly, the review gets its name from the local music program on eclectic rock station Clear 101.7 and was once again put on to benefit Ben's Ronald McDonald House, a nonprofit organization that provides services and lodging to children suffering from medical problems or other hardships, as well as their families. Tim Schroeder, a member of bands such as Bond Brothers and the World's Greatest Lovers, served as the revival's musical director. This year, Homegrown Music Review lineup included bands such as Moon Mountain Ramblers and Mosley Wada, and also several performances from Sister Songwriting Community. Many more other Central Oregon bands were heard at the review, and in fact the only non-Central Oregon act on the list was Portland experimental hip-hop act Hurt Bird, a trio that combines rock and root sound with a rap twist. Sounds like Bend was the place to be last weekend.
David Dondero's latest record, Number 0 with a Bullet, captures the rootlessness of being on the road, moving from town to town, taking odd jobs as they're offered, and leaving a place before things get too stagnant. He's not embellishing just for the sake of storytelling. Dondero really does lead this journeyman life, and every word the songwriter sings on the excellent Number 0 with a Bullet is true. While on the road, there was a point in between touring and albums where Dondero lost inspiration. According to Ned Lanneman from the Portland Mercury, Dondero found his muse in Portland and through that created some intriguing tunes that are featured on Number 0 with a Bullet. So check this one out.
Oregon State University was lucky enough to host renowned piano-clarinet duo John Nakamatsu and John Manassi as the LaSalle Stewart Center this past Tuesday as they performed their rich talents in a chamber music Corvallis performance. According to Tyler Hansen of the Gazette-Times, the two performers first rehearsed together in New York City in 2004 after having just met one another the night before. The pair clicked instantly and have been playing together ever since. Nakamatsu is the 1997 Van Cliburn Competition gold medalist, and Namasi is the winner of the International Clarinet Society competition, and together both have emerged as arguably the leading piano-clarinet duo in the country. The pair have roots in the Romantic era, but a strong jazz influence is also present in their repertoire. Just this month, they released their second studio album, a jazz-laden CD of works by American composers, to follow up their first studio effort that was devoted to Brahms. Nakamatsu and Manassi's Corvallis performance included the Brahms Sonata as well as two other pieces they had commissioned for themselves.
Portland's The Decemberists are headed back to Seattle early next year. Capitol Records announced that the pop rock band will headline the Paramount Theater on February 18, 2011. According to Ernest Jasmine of the News Tribune, the band will tour in support of their new album, The King is Dead, which will hit stores on January 18th. Tickets for the Seattle show will cost $32 in advance and $35 the day of the show. The Decemberists were joined by Gillian Welch when they performed their new single Down by the Water on TBS's Conan last night. The single was finally released digitally on Tuesday. The new album is produced by Tucker Martine and features cameos from Welch and REM guitarist Peter Buck. According to an announcement earlier this week, it's a return to a more simple, pastoral sound following its wildly ambitious predecessor, The Hazards of Love. Fans will be able to order the new album on the Decemberists website beginning November 22nd.
Get ready, because Salem's Symmetry is coming to play at Portland's Doug Fir Lounge on Thursday, December 16th. The band's newest album, entitled Have Cake, is their second album, and it was self-released last August. In the album, the trio-turned-quartet takes the electric and raw elements of their first album, Love Breaks Light, and amps them up. Symmetry consists of lead singer Daniel Jones, guitarist Joel Urim, and drummer Andrew Quackenbush, and recently, local bassist Mark Cleaver. According to Alva Isle of OregonMusicNews.com, Have Cake is riddled with unique hooks and thought-provoking lyrics, and does not fall short in its overall production quality due to lead singer Daniel Jones's 7+ years of experience in a studio setting. If you're a fan of Mano Mena and Band of Horses, then Have Cake is an album worth taking a listen to, as they play at the Doug Fir Lounge along with And I Was Like, What? Tickets are $7 and the show begins at 9 p.m.
The relationship between Apple and the Beatles has been a long, winding road, but they've finally come together. The update came in advance of what Apple had promised would be a 10 a.m. Eastern Time announcement that would make Tuesday a day to remember. The iTunes Store's main page featured a host of Beatles albums for sale beneath an early photo of the group that started in the Tiny Cavern Club in Liverpool. According to Doug Gross of CNN, iTunes users can buy the Beatles' 13 remastered studio albums from the Apple Store. Also available are the 2-volume Past Masters compilation and the group's Red and Blue collections. Fans can also purchase individual songs in a digital box set featuring live concert film. The Beatles had famously been the most high-profile holdout to making their music available via digital download. The surviving band members and the estates of the others had been reluctant to sign up, saying that the quality of digital music isn't good enough to do their catalog justice. John Lennon's widow, Yoko Ono, who had been vocal in her opposition to digital music's quality, said it's an appropriate time for the major music announcement, saying, quote, "In the joyful spirit of give peace a chance, I think it is so appropriate that we are doing this on John's 70th birthday year," end quote. And I think there will be many fans thanking her support in this. If you're a fan, you can go to iTunes right now and download your favorite Beatles hits. Single albums are available for purchase and download for $12.99 each, double albums for $19.99 each, and individual songs for $129 each. Well, that's all we have for now, but stay tuned for more music videos and Locals Live.
See you next week!